Hello, welcome to Kahoma Community College's Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Awita McAfee, and today we have with us Dr. Duke. Dr. Duke, hey.
How you doing?
Good. We're so glad to have you with us. Why don't you tell the audience a bit about yourself?
I am Carmisha Duke. I'm the campus nurse here at Kahoma Community College.
Okay. And we were talking earlier too about your designation as here in the region. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Yes, ma'am. I participated and I went down to Mississippi, at bottom of Mississippi Jackson, and I got my certification as a SANE nurse, sexual assault examination nurse. So anybody who is sexual assaulted, I can go in and do the exam.
So we're very fortunate to have you here on our campus so that you can service our students and staff
Yes, ma'am.
in these areas. So thank you, Dr. Duke. We're going to be talking about hygiene today. Hygiene. And I want to read a little something as it relates to academics. So research in public health and education has increasingly examined how personal hygiene factors impact academic performance. Sometimes we don't relate the two. So among college students especially. So hygiene related issues from basic hand washing habits and oral health care to menstrual hygiene management and sanitation access can affect students' grades, attendance, and overall academic success. So inadequate hygiene may lead to more illness-related absences, reduced concentration, or even social and emotional challenges that impede learning. Who knew that all of that could come from a lack of good hygiene?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's go into detail about it. Tell us some more about it, please.
Okay, poor hygiene can affect the health in many ways. One of the ways I would say is an increased risk for infections. That's at the top of my list. Poor hygiene, such as not washing your hands every day. It's something we should do every day, all day before you eat. And it just wash your hands. Unclean hands like a playground for bacteria and viruses to run around and play. This can lead to respiratory infections, one that we all know about so often. And probably a reason that a lot of students miss class or staff is out is COVID. So I can't say it enough. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. The second thing I always say is poor hygiene can worsen chronic conditions. So Mississippi, diabetes is one of the top chronic conditions that we often deal with. So poor foot hygiene, which will come from probably not taking a bath, but poor foot hygiene could lead to ulcers because the ulcer on the foot will get infected, and that in turn would lead to amputation of the foot or the leg. And another thing that you were talking about was the mental and social part of the students. And then let's see, I would say that would be more so on the side of poor personal hygiene. So if a student has lack of menstrual products, we have a lot of females that miss class or not taking a bath, not washing their hair, not brushing their teeth. And sometimes it's because they don't have the things that they need to actually get that done to get to class. And that in turns lead to poor body odor. And maybe another student may tease them about it and they feel like, okay, you know what, I don't want to go to class today because I don't want to be the one smelling like out in class. So in return, that leads to low self-esteem, which could cause depression and anxiety in a student.
Wow. And so you mentioned several things there. So you started with hand washing. And, like you were saying, during COVID and just other infectious diseases, and sometimes we can become, kind of complacent in that area and think it's not a big deal. But if you get sick, for example, COVID now, from not washing your hands, and then you miss class, that could lead to you missing too many classes, which could lead to you not passing a class, which could lead to you graduating later or not at all. So it is a big deal. It's almost like its own system.
Yes, ma'am. Because I like when most students test positive, it's at least 3 to 5 days out of class, mandatory. So
Okay. Mandatory, 3 to 5 days out of class.
ma'am.
So that's a lot. And so fortunately, I know that our faculty work with our students, but we want our students to be healthy.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you mentioned oral health as well.
Mhm.
I know that I have had a toothache and I just thought my head was just going to explode. I thought my head was going to explode. So I can imagine if a student has a toothache and then they're also missing class because they're in pain. And
Mhm.
so what are some other dental things that, or some things that students can do that they may think, again, like hand washing is just, we become complacent with it. And what are some things that students can do to prevent getting cavities?
Okay, the main thing is dental care, brushing your teeth. A lot of our students don't have the insurance to go to the dentist to get those things done, but we do have a pantry on campus. The pantry provides the student with toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, anything they need to get those personal hygienes taken care of. But brushing the teeth, mouthwash, flossing, and if they need those items, they can go over into the union and get it out of student pantry.
That's awesome because I know that something, again, as small as flossing can lead to fresher, cleaner smelling breath, which again can keep students from being teased or embarrassed and could lead to them actually attending class. So let's talk about, and thank goodness for the pantry. So let's
Mhm.
talk about menstrual hygiene. What do you have available in the pantry?
We have pads and tampons for students free of no charge. Just go over to the pantry, sign in, and get whatever items that you need. And you can actually come back. You'll get a weekly supply, but if you need more, just go over to the pantry and let them know.
That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I know sometimes because, we just had graduation, high school graduation and college graduation. So when students are transferring from a high school situation into college for their first year, and I know that sometimes parents and loved ones want to give gift packages, but they may not think about a hygiene package. So again, I'm happy that we have the pantry. Where's the pantry located?
The pantry is located on the second floor of the student union.
Okay, okay. And so, in talking about menstrual hygiene, it's often called period poverty.
Yeah.
So, I want to read a statistic here. In the United States, college students are not immune to period poverty, according to a survey in 2021 of some college women. It says that 14.2% have been unable to afford needed sanitary pads or tampons at least once in the past year, and about 10% experience this hardship every month. So the fact that you said that they could come back
Yes,
to
ma'am.
get products is important. So we say 10% experience this hardship every month. So let's put that into numbers outside of the percentage. So that means like 1 in 10,
Yes,
1 in
ma'am.
100. And so those numbers can add up quickly. And it says the study linked this chronic inability to manage menstrual hygiene to elevated risk of what you said earlier, mental health issues. And it says students with monthly period poverty had over twice the odds of moderate to severe depression.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to us some more about that, please, Dr. Duke. Depression.
Depression and anxiety, you can't really put a label on it. Something that someone else may go through may not affect you, but we have a lot of students in these days where they're under a lot of pressure because they're being teased and talked about because of slight things. I may not have the shirt that you have, or my hair may not be like your hair. So it can easily spiral down into depression and anxiety. And the fact that my breath may not smell as good as yours, or my face may not be as clean as yours, my hair may not be as clean as yours. All that can boil down into the depression and make it hard for students to focus in class.
Wow. So tell me what's the most surprising thing that parents may not know about students and hygiene.
Let's see. A lot of our students that come to campus don't even know the importance of taking a bath, believe it or not.
Okay.
A lot of them would go, I had a training and I actually talked with the students, and a lot of them would go maybe 5 days, 3 to 5 days without actually taking a bath. And they didn't know, okay, brush my teeth in the morning, brush my teeth before I go to bed, floss. They didn't understand that concept. They thought, okay, well, I did it in the morning or I did it before I went to bed. They didn't think that it should have been done at least 2 to 3 times throughout the day. So
Again, wow. So Dr. Duke, what can we do on campus in addition to the pantry to support our students with better hygiene?
I would say education, putting out information, teachings. Even we have where, okay, if the teacher needs to be out that day, instead of counseling that class, we can go over and talk to the students about whatever topic. Okay, go over and talk to them about hygiene. We even have, if they come to the clinic, I have hygiene packets, things, maybe condoms. That's a part of hygiene. We have students, a lot of our students are sexually active, so I have condoms and wash and all the things that they would need to be clean on all levels.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's talk about staff, because we know that your office also services everybody on campus, right? Enrolled students and faculty and staff. So let's talk about hygiene as it relates to faculty and staff. What's available through your office?
Staff has the same resources provided to them as the students. They can also go over to the pantry. And I also partner with another organization that comes to campus every other Monday. The staff can actually come in and speak with that partner and get a little bit more in-depth information or resources because of the insurance. But all the resources available to the students are available to the staff as well. And if we don't have their resource, I'll find it.
I know you will, Dr. Duke. That's why we're so lucky to have you here on campus. Could you tell us some more about the resources that are offered?
Other than the
list. Yeah.
okay, the list.
Mhm.
So, let's see. We have, like, again, we have toothpaste, toothbrush, condoms, shampoo, body wash, towels. We even have clothes. So if the students or staff need clothes, underwear, socks, shoes, anything, if students need to go to an interview, it's over in the pantry. Go get it.
And I'm so glad that you, again, included staff in that, because we are in the Mississippi Delta. And so there is a high level of poverty here in our area. And so that is, again, why I'm so happy that you're on the podcast, so that students will know, faculty and staff will know, everyone will know that these resources are available, because they're so important. And as we've just learned from you, can impact attendance, mental health, and all of these things can impact students and keep them from graduating, or even keep our faculty and staff off from work as well. And so we want everyone to be fit and healthy. So we're talking with Dr. Kamisha Duke. Dr. Duke, what are some things that you want to make sure that we know that you leave us with today?
The main thing is I'm located in the multi-complex building for anybody, staff, students, online, offline, on campus. I do my best to provide whatever resource you need. And again, if I don't have it, I will get it.
Awesome. Thank you again, Dr. Duke. It's been a pleasure talking with you today.
Thank you.